A little bit of our pelvis awareness while standing. So I still want to be driving the legs back and in, right? As if I'm doing that Goda twist. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and watch that video, right? But as I'm doing this, I want that same tension here. And this is going to help me find if I'm using my upper back or the back of my, or excuse me, my lower back or the back of my legs and the front of my legs to do the work to extend my hips or to move. So I'm going to show you from the side because it's going to be a little bit easier to see, but I'm going to have my hands on my pelvis. And I want to make sure if my right hand is higher than my left, I'm arching my back this way. Same thing, vice versa. So the first thing that I want to do is make sure I feel even, and I want to bend my knees a little bit. So for me, even though this feels like I'm like this, I know it's even because my hands are in line with one another here. From the side angle, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tuck my hips under. So if I start extended, right, I find the right position, I bend the knees, I tuck the hips under. When I do this, I feel a lot of tension in my glutes and I feel my core quite a bit. I want to try and feel as much of the sides and below the belly of my core, below the belly button of my core as possible. From here, right, I'm braced, I'm pushing my shoulders back, I'm not extending them. And then I'm going to keep that hip tuck as I slowly squeeze my quads. And as long as I keep that hip tuck, I'm feeling a couple things. I'm feeling my glutes, I'm feeling my quads, and I'm actually even feeling parts of my upper back, but that's okay, that's good. And I can get to about here, and if I go any further, I'm going to lose it. What I don't want it to look like, I have my tuck, is this. That's all lower back, and I don't feel anything in the back of my legs. So if I don't feel the back of my legs, it's likely that I'm hyperextended. Or if I only feel one side, it's likely that I am shifting. And I don't want to do that either. So it's, again, make sure it's even, bend the knees, legs are tension inward, tuck the hips. I feel both sides the same, and I slowly stand, and I feel more and more core and glutes and hip and hamstrings and quads as I stand up and as I come down. And I'm just going to oscillate between these two positions where I'm going to hold. I can add load to a front rack hold here and do this. That becomes really challenging, and I want to make sure, for me, for example, I tend to shift. That's what I do when I get explosive. I shift into my right hip and it causes a ton of pain. But when I do this, it really forces me to not let that happen, and I feel so much more tension than normal in a good way on my right hip. So good luck. This is going to be our standing hip tuck awareness drill.